You're watching Gnar Par Pro, and this is a course breakdown of Shadow Pines. This was a temporary course. Par 62, nearly 8,000 feet. Let's get into it. Hole 1 at Shadow Pines is a par 4, 620 feet. There is OB left on the cart path. Really only comes to play early in the hole with a bad shot. There's about 3 gaps you're looking at. Left side for like a turnover or forehand, or up this middle here you can go to the right gap. I've seen a lot of people try to spray with a roller, but it's tough. This gap will open up as some of these trees are scheduled to be removed. A good shot makes the gap and stays to the right, because then you can throw a hyzer that moves right to left toward this basket. The basket is mostly open on the right side and fairly protected from the left. So if you do make the gap and you end left, the approach is much more difficult. But make the gap, stay center, come in from the right, and it's a pretty gettable hole, but you have to make that first gap. Hole 2, par 3, 245. It is a tunnel shot. Doesn't look great right now, but once these saplings grow in, this is going to be a signature hole of this course. Just take a putter, throw it right up the middle, keep it straight. These saplings are terrible right now. The rough is just so brutal. It's just a straight shot. You have it in you. You got it. Hole 3, par 3, 330. Plays longer than that. OB cart path right. It is a very specific shot to get there. You have a low ceiling on both these trees left and right, and then this mound in the fairway 2/3 the way up. So there is very limited airspace. The turnover shot has to be very touchy. If you could rip a forehand, swing it over this wall, you only have to contend with this one pine tree, assuming you have 300 plus in your forehand. A very good specific shot gets this birdie. Otherwise, it's a relatively safe par. Moving on to hole 4, par 3, 330, plays uphill. OB cart path along the right side, and then we have hazard traps center, left, and right of the fairway. This is the first hole that really gives you that feel that this used to be a golf course. Feels cool to play in a golf course. Right now we're going to see the hazard right here. Boom, sand traps left and right. So hazard, you'll play your lie, take a stroke. It is a very specific shot because if you have the power and you're a little high, you're going to go OB hazard left. This is a bomber's dream hole, really. Hole 5, 800 feet. Double mando. There is a cart path way long and way right. Doesn't really come into play. The hard part here is this double mando is right here. You have to make this gap. It looks easy, but the branches lean into the fairway. It is a tight shot. If you make the mando and it fades left, it starts to really pinch you off. So you want to throw something that goes pretty straight. And then your second shot, you're staying down this tunnel and you want to throw something that goes fairly straight. Because if you go left, it really pinches you off. A good second shot will get you right up about here. And then you have this approach which forces like a turnover. You could play to go left on your second or third shot that sends your fourth or fifth to have a better line at the basket, but you're just flirting with these trees all the way. It seems like it's simple. It's only 800 feet. It's a par 5, but this one, I mean, it plays harder than it looks. Moving on to hole 6, 340. This is a cool hole. You are throwing like a forehand position shot or a turnover, and you have to bend it around that tree that goes on the right side. Swing to the right in front of these pines over this mound, and then have it stable up into the pine trees. Super difficult birdie to get as a 3. If you play it safe, I think the par is fairly attainable as long as you can avoid these couple guardian trees. It is a fun shot in a picturesque hole. Number 7. The island hole, 380. It's fairly forgiving to get onto the island, but you have to really have a specific shot to make it into the landing zone because it is only about 15 feet around the basket in bounds. If you don't make it into the island, there is a drop zone that will be marked, and this is specifically how the hole played, at this last event for bag tags. It may be different later on, but I really like this hole. On to 8. This is a good hole. This is a hard birdie. You have a couple options off the tee. You can go wide left with a turnover or a forehand, but if you want to attack the pin, you have to go up the middle with something that hyzer flips, stays straight. If you flip it up too much, it'll go into that rough on the right. If you're lucky, it misses the branches left and just punches this gap right here. Then you have to avoid these 3 guardian trees, and hopefully you have a putt for par. Difficult birdie to get. Only one person got this at the event. Plenty of pars though. So, best of luck to you. And on to the last hole at the front 9 at Shadow Pines. This is hole 9, 340, downhill, low ceiling. You can go wide left if you have a mash of a forehand, but it better be overstable enough to come back. Otherwise, you're trying to hyzer flip up this center gap and get something that stays straight. Because as you see, the OB is on that left side all the way down. So anything that hyzers out for a righty is tracking for OB. If you make it pin high, that thing better be landing straight because the OB is very close to the basket. This is a hard 3 to get, but the perfect shot will get it. This has been the Shadow Pines temporary layout. Permanent baskets and tees due in summer of 2022. Thanks for watching, and don't hit first available next time you're out there. You're watching Gnar Par Pro.